Hello, everyone, and welcome, Lofty Lounge, episode 104 Conversations for the Elevated. Welcome to all my fellow snobs. I am your host, Science Fiction Snob. This week on the program, we're going to be talking about the Amazing Digital Circus, that web based, YouTube based animated show that is taken over uh, the Western world, well, at least especially with the younger viewers. And we have been looking at it. This is our third show about it, and we're going to look at episodes 5 and 6 and discuss them. It's not super popular with our viewers, but Cam and I both think it's going somewhere, and it's well written, and it's worth your time. But before we get into that, let me introduce my co-host for the program, the man who doesn't have an identity crisis. It's Cam. Say hello, Cam.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing on
Good
this
evening.
Memorial Day weekend in our fine United States?
That's right. It's a Memorial Day in America. We had our version of it last week. Yeah.
And when I say everyone, I mean Weatherman. Good evening, Weatherman.
Weatherman, the person who's watching.
Not
Welcome,
feeling
Weatherman.
great,
Yes.
but stopping by, appreciate it.
Whoops, still suffering from a migraine. Oh, that sucks. And thanks for the gift of one membership. We appreciate that. Always good to have you there. Hopefully you can stay in for the show. I know you'll stay as long as you can. Hope you're feeling better. And just welcome to everyone in the chat. It says we have 3 people. Oh, that's this show is not that popular with our regular viewers. However, we're going to go through it anyway. We got 3 people. Maybe 2 now. But welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about the show. You know, if you want to put your 2 cents in the chat, hey, we like to interact with the chat. That's a big part of our show. So, don't be afraid to jump in. We're going to give a little bit of time before we get started for people to come by. Those YouTube and Rumble notifications, especially YouTube, can sometimes be a little slow. So we'll get started here real quick. So Cam, what's been going on? What have you been doing this past week? How'd you increase your sci-fi snobbery this week? Did you do anything interesting?
Man, this week is a blur. I don't even know. I can't think of anything I did to increase my sci-fi snobbery.
Nothing you want to share with Weatherman?
I'd be happy to share anything with Weatherman because loyal viewer and friend.
Our most loyal viewer, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on a lot of different streams, it seems, and so I'm kind of, it's all a jumble after a while.
It's all a jumble. Well, I had a pretty busy week. A lot of stuff going on. What should I start with? Okay. Cam, you like board games, right?
Indeed, I do.
Well, I got a chance to play again. It's only the second time I played it on the weekend. Black Orchestra. Are you aware of Black?
No,
Orchestra?
I've not heard of that.
That is the one where it's a co-op game where you try to assassinate Hitler.
Oh,
so set in during the war. You play various characters that were conspirators to trying to overthrow Hitler and assassinate him. You move around this board which represents Berlin and various parts in the the East. You got to work together, and there's, of course, you're kind of playing against the board and the event cards that come up. There's kind of 7 different levels representing early to the end of the war, and there's kind of ups and downs that go through it. The board opens up. The farther you go on, the more the board opens up, right, or closes down depending on the you can't go to Eastern Ukraine at certain points, before or after the war, that kind of thing. So, but it's pretty good. It's fairly enjoyable. We were able to kill Hitler. We poisoned him at the sports arena eventually. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's not bad. I think it does pretty good on Board Game Geek rated wise, but
Uplifting.
there's some historical information too. Have you seen? Did you see Valkyrie, the movie?
Yes, I liked it.
So the first time I played the game, I actually my character was actually the Tom Cruise character.
Okay, I was going to ask that. Do you get to play different characters?
Yes, and
Do they have different
there's
abilities?
various different military, spy and civilians who are part of the plot, the various plots. This time, so Stauffenberg is his name. I played him last time, I believe, and this time I played Oberst, which is the bald guy with the glasses who kind of supports him, but it's kind of secondary. But I played him this time, so. They all have their different abilities and everything. So, it's pretty standard, but reasonably good. Yeah. Yeah, it's been around for a while. People have talked about it. Like, I'm not telling anybody anything special. Found this incredible game. It's been, it's been out for a while, and it's been, it kind of, I don't know, blew up, got a little bit of positive views when it first came out. So, I can see that it might not have a super long, like it not might be, very long lasting, like replayability, but not endless replayability because, But it's pretty well represents the theme, and makes it difficult to kill Hitler. You got to plan things out and stuff. Make sure you're hiding from the Gestapo, etc. So, yeah. All right. Any questions you want to ask me about that? I'm going to push on.
No, that's fine. I got an expansion, a tiny mini expansion for Lord of the Rings Duels, Duel for Middle Earth game, but I haven't been able to try it.
Oh, Lord of the Rings Duels for Middle Earth. That's not the one that everyone's raving about, is it? That came out very recently.
No, that's Fate of the Fellowship, which is the one that I played like 100 times. This one, right? Yeah, I do. Duels is good too. Duels is based on it's real re-implementation of Seven Wonders Duels, which is a 2-player game specifically.
I played Seven Wonders, but not the Duels version of it. But I'm aware of it.
Yeah, there's probably at least 3 or 4 Seven Wonders games out there. So
yeah,
yep.
Another person in our group wants to do that Fate of the Fellowship, but wants to play that.
I've played the living hell out of that game. I mean,
and you like it? It's good, eh?
I mean, it's Pandemic, basically. Right. But in my opinion, way better than Pandemic. It's like I never want to play Pandemic again. I would just play this
after this.
Yeah,
rather do this one. Yeah, all right. Welcome, Rodriguez family. All of it, all 7,000 of you.
Greetings.
Welcome. So, we're just we haven't gotten to the topic yet. We're just waiting for a few more people to jump in before give them a chance. What else? You'll be happy to know, Cam, that I will soon be a father again.
What?
Yes. I'm going to become more of a stepfather, I guess. We've had someone move in to our location. You can see them right there. And do you see those 2 planters on the ground there?
Mm-hmm.
The one that's slightly furthest away, a Canada goose has laid a couple eggs in the planter. And as I look out my window is down, I'm in the bunker, and I can kind of see out, and I can see the goose sitting on the planter, which she has at least 2 eggs. We when time came back and probably laid a couple more, and it's now sitting on there. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but it is a federal crime to disturb a goose that's nesting in Canada. And so my barbecue is a little bit over to the left of this picture. and I can't really use my barbecue. The geese are a little bit upset when you get too close.
It's a federal crime to disturb a insanely common animal on your property.
It wasn't that common, but it's pretty common now. Like at the time when they made these, it wasn't as common.
Swing a dead cat.
Now we should be shooting damn things. We should be shooting these damn things and eating them. There's so many of them. My in town, there's this, in the main part of town of my little town that there's where everything is. There's a fairly big water area around a park, and there's just geese everywhere, crapping on all over the place.
I see new families, meaning a bunch of baby geese every day. They're all over the place.
Canada geese or
just
other geese. Oh, yeah. These ones, like everywhere I'm driving around. Just a couple days ago, I had to stop and let a couple geese go across. They had 4 little babies with them. They must have been an early. They were an early birth. But they come around. I had to dodge them. Yes, B-Bricks, we were waiting for you, of course. You're right.
Amazing Digital Circus, biggest fan.
Our only fan for the show, but that's fine. So it's kind of funny to watch people that don't understand, tourists or whoever don't understand these geese, and they go, "Oh, let's go pet the nice geesies." And of course, they, wings and start to hiss and bite the crap out of you.
Yeah, they're nasty animals.
Anyway, right on, and some 26 days, I guess. I mean, it's been a couple days, so maybe minus a few days from that, I'm going to be a stepfather, I guess, to a bunch of little goslings, and hopefully the damn geese will get out of here and go somewhere else.
Yeah, they'll go find water somewhere.
Yeah, well, we've got a pond just to the right of the picture a little bit and further out, and another pond in another place. But it's the they what they do is once we have a larger pond, and there's often, it's usually the ducks that hang out there. We usually have a couple ducks there. There's been ducks around, but I don't bother trying to go find their nests because you don't want to disturb them. But then what happens with geese and ducks is once they have their brood, they'll go to some water area and they'll stay there for a day or two maybe, and then they'll walk and move to somewhere else, right? And of course, in this part of Alberta, there's tons of small little sloughs and ponds and stuff all over the place. It's very easy for them to do that. So that happens a lot.
You see, Bieber says
I'm breaking up.
What's that? Yeah, Weatherman said that, but Bieber says you're going to be like Roz from The Wild Robot to the geese. Did you see that movie, Wild Robot?
Yeah, but it's been a while. I can't remember what happened, but they're following me around. I hope not. I'm not gonna get in the way. We got a couple cats, and the geese were giving the cats a hard time. So they've kind of come to some sort of agreement. Don't get too close, and I won't honk and bite you and stuff. So it's been pretty peaceful so far. Geese are cats are used to like, hey, look, a mouse, it's like 1/20th my size, I'll go kill that. They're not used to dealing with something like a goose. It's a little bit
but baby geese are pretty tasty targets, probably.
Yeah, that's the only problem. We don't want the baby geese to be eaten, but what can you do? Mother Nature taking course, circle of life and all that stuff. Hey, I live out in the boonies, man. We're used to that. Cats getting eaten by coyotes, things getting dead. I had to get rid of a magpie that flew in a rain barrel and drowned or something. I don't know. It killed itself. But anyway,
we have a message held for review with some salty language here. Should we, from our friend Outpost Nerd, should we let it go, or are you gonna?
I don't know how you. I can't see it.
It's an F-bomb.
Geese migrate from water source to water source until the young can fly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. I'll let you decide, Cam.
Outpost Nerd, please rephrase. You know what? I'll read it out for you. Ducks are mean. F-bomb.
No, geese are much meaner than ducks. Trust me. They are much meaner. Yeah, they are nasty. Geese don't want to, if it comes at you, man, just kick it right in the head. Back away. If you turn to run, they will chase you. And they're pretty strong with their wings and stuff, and they're a lot bigger than ducks. So yeah, be careful. I'm not worried about ducks. Ducks really fly away mainly. The geese, though, they'll come at you. You got to be a little more careful.
Just a side note. We're doing a show that has young viewers right now, so might not be the best.
Yeah, just rephrase. Swans are worse. Oh, I don't have any experience with swans, just geese. Beabrix is faster.
I agree.
I got lots more.
No, dude, we're 20 minutes in. Let's get moving.
No, that's it for the geese. I got more though.
We've got one viewer who wants to watch this. You gonna drive him away?
No, he'll stay. He'll like it. Cam, do you like? All right, well, I'll do one more. Do you like classical music?
Yeah.
You do? Well, guess where I went? Do you know what? On Friday, I had some. I got to see the symphony orchestra in my town was playing Carmina Burana. You aware of that?
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Well, it's a famous operatic piece. It's also featured prominently in Excalibur.
Yes. Wow, Cam, I didn't know you'd get that one. Let me do this.
I have 3 recordings of it.
You do? I don't have any recordings of it. I mean, I've heard of it many times. I'm going to play a little bit of it. So what I did was I saw.
There goes your monetization.
No, it shouldn't.
I guarantee it. Guarantee you're going to get struck.
Well, we'll
go ahead though. What are they going to take? Nothing.
Let's do a little bit of this. So, I'm going to play this, and then I'll play some of it, and everyone will recognize it after that, right?
Sure.
Because you've heard it in media all the time. So this is what I went to see on Friday. Culture on the show.
Yeah.
I'll take it out after. All right, we'll cut it there. All right. Anyway, that's I got to see that my local. They were playing. They're playing a. That was the second half of the show. I went. And my daughter was in the show. She was singing. They did a new. There's a new. Somebody's writing this new. Composing a new thing. It's called On Freedom. It was 12 minutes long. They're working on it like it's only like a part of it, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
And then they did independence movement theme. What's that? Is this going to be your new national anthem?
I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah. And then they did Ravel, and then this Carmina Burana, the last half of the show, which was the major part of it, which was pretty good. So I had some great seats, Cam. I was 8 rows from the stage. I was, I could see the expressions on the people singing's face, everything, like every movement of the violinists and everything. Sorry. No, forget I said that. What I meant to say was I was in horrible seats, only 8 seats from the stage, 8 rows from the stage, and I didn't get to sit in my box next to Bruce Wayne. That's what I meant to see. That's my normal place, but it was it was awesome.
I was gonna say, were you in the spit zone?
Usually, for sure. I would have got wet if there was any of that stuff. That was awesome. You could actually see their expressions and everything. Like it was, 8 rows. It was beautiful.
It's
I never want to go see. I wish I was rich. I could see everything from that time. Every time I go, instead of sitting way in the back, where you need glasses to see anything. Yeah, it makes it a much better sitting on the 8th row with the rich people.
Great.
So yeah, that was enjoyable. All right, yeah. My kid was singing in it, and that's why we went.
Oh.
And so she was. They were. You could tell by the piece. There's lots of there's a lot of voice. Now they're just a children's choir. They were just kind of in the back and doing things a part of that. They weren't majorly involved with everything, but but she was there. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, copyright strike that guy. We're not monetized, so we can't get demonetized. Yeah, Splash like a Universal Studios ride. Yeah, we were in the. Yeah, it's pretty funny. You see these the tenor and the baritone, the soprano. They just sit there in their seats, and I'm like, the guy's sitting there for like 2 movements or something. I'm like, what is the guy thinking? He's just sitting there with this sort of weird smile on his face. Like, what is he thinking? But pretty good. These guys, opera singers.
Pretty great. Good. Glad you get a little culture in your.
It was good. A little bit of culture. All right. I'll ask you about my other things at the end of the show. All right. Okay, that's good. You want to get ready to get into it? That's enough. Yep. Enough culture.
Yep.
All right. Okay, let's jump into it. How do you want to start? Well, we'll start with episode 5, which is called, of course, Untitled.
Yes.
All right, I'll let you start off. All right. Good night, weatherman. Lie down. Feel better, man.
Yeah. Take care, man. Okay. This is a mishmash episode. They start off coming off of an adventure that apparently was watery. They didn't seem to enjoy it. And Zubul, again, was not on the adventure, sitting out once again. And then he wants to get them on another adventure, and he goes through some that they some of his ideas, and so they're getting into this zone where they're starting to debate what they want to do more and such, and so he's trying to please them, but not really. Go ahead.
I just wanted to but isn't this okay? So this is, I think, they return from the adventure. Ragatha is being very positive about it, as usual, right? Now, but Kane is seeing some anger towards Zubul, right? Now, do you notice that there's is a little bit of a flash of anger? Like it's a flash of anger, and then it stops, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yes.
I thought that was are the other characters seeing that, or what are your thoughts about that? Because it happens. I'm going to mention it happens in the next episode as well. 6.
Well, I think so. I mean, there's been other times when he's and had some kind of calculation going on or whatever, and the other characters reacted to it. So I would assume that they.
But they don't really react. Like he goes from 0 to 100 all of a sudden, and it's just like boom, and it's just. What's going on? And they don't seem to, react that much towards it, they don't have these sort of stricken look. Oh my God, he's so angry and stuff. The screen changes, it zoom, he gets huge and it gets all dark behind him. And he's like a rage sort of thing, but nobody seems to react that much to it. Right. No, I don't know the answer. I'm just saying that this is, and it happens in the next episode as well. But Anyway. Yeah. Maybe you didn't notice as much as me, but it happens like very early, like at the 50 something second mark, like it was the thing. But anyway, okay, sorry, go ahead. I interrupted you, but I just think that's an interesting aspect of there's something going on there. I think it maybe indicates that Kane is going a little bit haywire, and it might be an internal thing where they don't see it, which is why the characters don't really react. Because I would think they hardly ever seen Kane that angry, and you'd think they would be taken aback by it or something. But I'm thinking maybe it's just going on in his mind or something. But anyway,
there are a few things that are, like with Bubble, some strange things come up in this episode. But long story short, this is a collection of short, it's a lightning round of stuff from the suggestion box is what they convince Kane to allow. And he doesn't like all he doesn't, as you go through, his obsession with his stuff being appreciated or dealt with is coming through more and more here.
Yeah. I think that's the overall general arc for Kane in this episode, is that he is upset when they don't like his things, right? Like he's like, I'm supposed to be doing this and you guys don't like it. It's like it hurts him personally or something like that.
Well, yeah, and I think it was the last episode where, it was like I think when he was talking to Zubul, maybe a couple episodes back, and he's like it's like, oh, this is the only thing I'm good at, and if you don't like the so it's it's like his purpose in his existence is being questioned, right? And exactly. And it's starting to really become a threat to him, or he treats it like a threat kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of well, I can see that might feel threatened. He seems to be threatened about it. I'm not sure if he's treating it like a threat or if he's going to do something yet. Like it doesn't. I'm not sure that it's logical that that's going to happen, but I don't know that. Do we see it in this episode? I'm not sure. One other thing before we get into the suggestion box adventures, another comment that Kane makes, which I thought was interesting, was that they said about letting us. I think it's Pomni. I can't remember if it's Pomni or Zubul. They suggest that we just why don't you just leave the world and let us do whatever we want in it, and then Kane sort of makes an aside that they can hear to to Bubble, saying that they want the other the intelligent AIs want the other AIs to let them run for a long time. That sounds like a great idea, right? Like sarcastically. I don't know if you picked that up or not.
Yeah, I did. Hey, again, it's a hint, right?
Yeah.
And incidentally, I think it's safe to say the reason that you've been saying, oh, we like this. I don't. It's more accurate to say that I think I might like it, and we're, I think, generally interested in this because we're seeing these sci-fi-ish elements that it could end up being. But I don't know how this is going to end up, so I think this could really go bad or could end up like, oh, wow, that was worth it. And there, they did build something and it wasn't just random,
crap thrown together. There was a plan.
Right. And
yes. And when I say that I like it, I don't mean that I actually like it. I mean that it's interesting and I want to find out that the writers are trying to say something to us. Mm-hmm. And I want to find out what that is. This is not really like I find this interesting, but this isn't really my bag. I wouldn't normally watch, a cartoonish with these characters and stuff like that. But again, I think they're saying something, to us, and I want to find out what they're saying, right?
Yeah. Well, that they say something at all, it would be sufficient for me.
Yeah, because so much media doesn't, and they treat the audience like idiots. Which we might talk about soon.
Bieber here says, are you hearing this, Bubble? The Toy Box character wants us to leave the other intelligent AIs to run for a prolonged period of time.
Yes, that's the exact quote. Thanks.
the toy box character. But there's what I say is judging by. Okay, so the fan, I mentioned that this was not directed towards us, and I realize there's a lot of fandom attacks on fandoms, right? And so I don't want to mistake what I'm about to say for corporations attacking fans, like, oh, let's say Disney and Wizards of the Coast. That's right, I named them. And breaking.
Oh wait.
Good luck. Take it all. But the fandom for the younger set fandoms throw tantrums a lot. And so the difference is old school fandoms of Star Wars, for example. They are unhappy when the things that we've been provided over the course of years are suddenly
40 years
shredded, right? It's like, what did you just? Right. This is quite the opposite, because this is a story that's not even done, not fully established what it is, and fandom. Don't talk about the fan here. Yeah, right. It's a big risk. They're going to come for us. Is throwing a tantrum because it doesn't validate whatever they decided ahead of time the show was supposed to be about to serve them. You see what I'm saying? It's like, they've not even received the story yet. And they've decided it must be this thing because that's whatever personal problem I have. It needs to be about that.
Or my identity or the thing I think about.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly.
There is I do tend to think that there's a difference between, guys our age, people our age, in their
it's the difference
issues and stuff around there.
For us, it's about the thing we loved. Yeah, for them, it's about them. Right.
We get mad when we perceive that the thing that we love is being destroyed by people who are being idiots or don't understand it. While some of this newer stuff, they seem to get upset when it's not going to be exactly what I thought it would be. But,
and what I thought it would be is always it's about me. This has been a disease that has grown in fandom for several decades now, that stories exist to serve me personally, and I don't mean me. I mean whoever the weirdo is that decided that stories are about them, as opposed to this is a story that I somehow relate to.
Yeah, or some story would come out when we were growing up and we'd like it. Right. Or we wouldn't like it, and then you'd become a fan, or you wouldn't become a fan. You wouldn't.
Yeah. This is anyway, all right. So I want to make that distinction between things, but they're losing their crap, with these leaks and everything, and even leading up to it, it's like, no, this isn't what I have imagined it's supposed to be. So therefore, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm like, for me, I'm going to receive what they give. And then I'm going to decide if I like it or not, or if it's good or not after I get the whole.
Right.
So normally we look at things that are already over.
Right.
We know the answer. So this is a little bit different for us. But anyway.
Yeah. And we're going to like it or not. It'll be but there are these pieces that are floating, and that's what we're mentioning, a few of these things. And I'm sure we haven't plumbed the depths like some of the other people have.
No, we don't. But, we haven't spent enough time.
I know there's a lot of fan theories out there, but.
I might talk a little bit about one later.
Okay. Sure.
But anyway, we're like, I want to go through these and highlight some of the interesting things which I think might lead to what's going on. And it's good that we can do it now because no one knows the answer. We might look stupid, but hey, we won't know for sure.
Yeah. One other thing that I want to mention in terms of the direction of the overall storyline is the interaction between Pomni and Jax gets more front and center here.
Yeah, and in the next episode, in episode 6 too.
Yes, right.
Big time. So, yeah. That's the big one, I think, in the next one. But we'll talk about that when we get to that one. I've heard about the leaks. I have not read them yet. I was planning on reading them, but I didn't read them. I'm not really. I don't know if I am going to read them. I thought I should read them just to know, so I can, just be more aware of what's going on. But I'm thinking maybe I should.
We're going to see it. We're going to see it before.
We're going to see it in like 2 weeks. So maybe, So maybe I should not bother.
Hey, welcome, Dean.
Good morning, Dean. Good to see you.
Thanks for joining us.
So you haven't seen them, Cam? I thought you'd seen them. No.
Oh no, the other episodes I have.
The leaks.
No, not about the
All right,
finale.
Maybe I'll ignore them as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to look into them.
All right, I'll do the same maybe. All right, so we barely at the start of this episode. Maybe let's get a little. So they go through the suggestions. Do you want to go quick over that? The first two are Jax's suggestions.
Yeah, Poacher's Paradise, which is him killing Gangle.
And everybody else too, if he could.
Right, yeah, that's true. Everyone else is there, but he first shoots a rhinoceros version of Gangle, and then decides to start chomping on the carcass, which is the ribbons, and then Kane instills a democracy thing, because Kane is just trying to get through these. He's like, yeah, let's go, and go through them. So he lets them vote to move on, and as it turns out, vote for other things as well. So they get out of this one pretty quick, and then they go to President.
They make Jax a vegan too.
Jack's a vegan, so President Pomni is, there is a crisis brewing. Pomni is the president in this, and Kinger is like the chief of staff, and Zubul and Ragatha are Secret Service agents, and so they're in the White House, and there's a crisis brewing between Australia and New Zealand.
They hate each other,
right? And so Pomni doesn't seem to know what's going on, and Kinger pulls her aside, and he's like, "Oh, didn't you get the there's some kind of memo or something that was like telling them about their characters that
he's got like a character sheet, so to speak."
Right. And I didn't read it because he's under the desk, with Pomni, and he's telling her about this. Yeah. And there's, you can kind of see the sheet. There's stuff written on it that I'm sure if you were to stop it, you could.
Hold on. Biebrick says it's important point that which it's not a silly thing that Jax to be a vegan. All right, well, we should look and talk about that later. I'm not sure. I just thought that was kind of a throwaway, but all right, interesting. Did you note the Clinton joke? I don't know if some of the younger people get the Clinton joke in this one.
What?
Did you get the Clinton joke
about the desk?
Yeah, the desk joke.
Let's not go into that.
Well, I'm just saying it's a Clinton joke, right? Like,
I guess.
Yeah, come on. It's got to be. He comes in, and Jax is like, "Oh, hey, is this a bad time?" And then Kinger pops his head up. No, okay, maybe not. Anyway,
so then they have who comes in first? It's Jax. Jax is the Australian extremist.
Yeah, and he's got a suitcase full of a spider bomb. It's gonna spiders and centipedes all over the place.
Right. And there's
did I come at a bad time? Exactly. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
And there's so Pomni's trying to defuse the bomb, right? Cutting the wire. And Kinger is being very confusing with the whole thing. And I don't know.
No, wait. Jack says, "Pick your favorite color. Is it red or is it blue?" Which I think is kind of interesting because there's a color theory going, which I haven't read it, completely, but there's a color theory about Pomni with the red or the blue stuff, and throughout, not with just Pomni, but throughout some of the later episodes where the background is red or blue and stuff like that. But anyway.
So they come. The thing that cracks is Gangle is the New Zealand extremist who kicks in the door next, which is hilarious because it's like, I'm a New Zealand extremist. Just the way that's presented kind of makes me laugh for whatever reason. And
and Gangle's, I don't know what they would say.
Yes, this is clearly not a well thought out scenario. But yeah, then it blows up and they go off. And then you've got this this bubble interlude, right?
Uh-huh.
Where Bubble shows up and says some, makes some kind of noise. And I'm like, was that supposed to be something? Was that a hidden message? Play it backwards and sideways and, slow down or whatever. But I don't know if that was actually anything.
Yeah, that stood out to me too. I'm like, oh, what? I mean, is this something that there were? I wonder if there's going to be, it's a reference to something or somehow important, because it just sort of seems to be thrown in there and just do nothing. But I don't know. It's distortion.
Yeah. So. Okay. So what they're talking about in the chat here is Jax mentioned something about. It's like, I didn't think Kane could do that. Meaning about him being vegan. That he's not supposed to be able to, and this goes way back, something about that he's not able to change their minds around or basically
or do stuff with them. Yeah, that's the kind of the reference. He's not supposed to be able to do that.
Right. And Jax recognizes that.
Yeah, and there's an interesting. The next episode, I'm gonna mention it. In the episode, remember, Ragatha is down a life at the beginning, and so it's not fair. Right. And then Kinger makes a butterfly, and she's like, and goes, "Oh, just touch it," and he gives her life back. And she's like, "How'd you do that?"
Oh, no, she says, "Did Kane?" He says, "Did Kane do that? Put that in there?" And he's like, "No, I just made it up."
Yeah, I just made it up. Yeah, so I think that reference is in episode 6, and this one here in episode 5. The world is not as impermeable as they think it is. Like, obviously, Kane can do things to their characters that they didn't think it could happen, but also they can affect the world a little bit more, or at least Kinger can. Maybe it refers to all of them, but they just don't even bother to try. That's kind of my thought of it when I saw that.
Yeah, and extra history here states in episode 1, Kane says, "One of the things I don't have control over is your minds." That's what's being disproven here, or
not true change.
Yeah, something
interesting. Yeah, something to.
Okay, so next one is the
anime.
The anime version, which shifts to a different style of animation, right?
Which I thought was a pretty interesting, nice style of animation. I mean, very typical for it, but
it's right. Pretty well done. Pomni and Biebrick says stupid sauce is a sign of him being able to control their minds. Is it? That's something in the environment that's controlling their minds, I guess. But okay, so yeah, it's a 2D animation thing, and it's like they're in middle school or something. I would place it, because Pomni and Gangle are wearing like sailor outfits, like girls' uniforms, and Jax and Zubul are wearing like the jacket.
Yeah, they're in school. There's look like school uniforms.
And Kinger is a teacher in this. What was Ragatha? I forget what she was doing in this. She was a student too, I think. But
they were all students except for Kinger, I think.
Yeah. B-Brick's apparently a anime fan. Go figure. Anyway, it's this was Gangle's suggestion, right? And Gangle's kind of back.
Yeah.
I would say Gangle has been portrayed a number of times, like she's just like drawing and kind of like with a little smile on her face.
She's happy here in this.
Right.
She's sitting there drawing, and then this is her idea, of course. But
right, but this is the only time we've seen Gangle do it. There have been other times as well, where she's drawing and seems happy. Clearly that's her thing. Inspired by Okay, so this is a reference to Gooseworks anime. Okay. Jax complains about slice of life animes being the worst, which is funny.
That's like that's a big
yeah. Well, okay, so and B-Bricks is saying that, it's Gangel's favorite anime too. I don't know where that information comes from, but yeah, Gangle is a self-insert. It seems pretty
somewhat.
Maybe half of a self-insert. I don't know. Maybe there's more than one.
To some extent. We don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so then that one ends because Gangle, because Jax
basically says something, and that makes Gangle say, "Okay, don't mention that." Right?
We've heard about this before too. I think in the second episode, Jax blackmailed her with something like, "Oh, or I'll tell Ragatha about whatever." Something. So Gangle is, embarrassed about something about herself, I guess. And then they go, the stargazing one is next, which I didn't notice it the first time I saw it, but it's actually outside on the circus grounds. It's not a separate setting. Because you could see in the background the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, sorry. I was just looking. It says it's not as embarrassing as that time that Gangle took an anime figure and then cuts. And Gangle's like, yeah, I get it. So that's this. Sorry, I was just making sure I got that right.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. You were saying the next one is
the Stargate. It's like they're having a picnic at night outside.
Yeah, and it looks like it's the outside of the
and they are
the circus.
Yeah, you could see that, which kind of interesting. And again, this is, there's this Jax and Pomni are kind of off a little bit from the rest of the group, and Ragatha's like freaking out a little bit. Ragatha is getting very agitated about Pomni and Jax.
Yeah.
And Jax at the very, very beginning, he makes a snide comment about Ragatha. He's like, "Oh, that so nice Ragatha thing getting old, isn't it?" Or something. He's needling this. So let's see, how does this one go? Kinger's over there kind of talking to Ragatha.
Yeah, they have sandwiches. They
oh, okay.
But the thing that stood out to me about this part was Jack says, "Do you think Gangle is even capable of being happy?" To Pomni, and I thought that was a key thing in the discussion. But what your thought about that is?
Yeah, this episode is filled with a lot of breadcrumbs, right? And okay, so Jax they talk about in this episode and other episodes, he's always going after Gangle in one way or another. And as you notice in the next episode, when they're having their game, he's like, "Come on, Gangle!" Like he's like wants to be on Gangle's team.
Yeah,
and it's like he's always doing these things that would seemingly be making Gangle unhappy. But that's an interesting point. It's like, well, why is he doing that? If he's saying,
yeah, well, we can get into that, but maybe it's because he wants to torture Gangle. Well, Gangle's the most fun to torture in a sense.
Maybe. Because I'm just saying the theory here. Okay, let's say Gangle can't be happy. So then, is Jax then trying to provide something else that will? I start to think about the theory of what's the whole purpose of this, of why they're here. It's like to keep their brains active. It's like, because again, there was a reference to that. Again, I'm sure some of the super fans in the chat here might be able to quote the things, but I seem to recall there being something about keeping them occupied, or their brains occupied.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what Kane is very obsessed about, is constantly keeping them busy. So, again, this is the sci-fi angle. There seems like there's something there, maybe.
Yeah, I think B-Bricks has got the gist of what I was mentioning on this part. Jack's comments on Gangle not being capable of being happy. Ragatha gives him a snide comment. He gives her a blow-off excuse back. Pomni asks if he has actual friends. Ragatha responds, "Not anymore." Yeah. That's like, oh, he had friends before, and he seems to get upset about that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's a lot of
extra history is pointing at the same thing. Yeah, I caught that too, and I was like, what the heck,
Right. Oh, you know what? That just reminded me of the preview for the last episode with the froggy guy. Was that the
We'll
same?
Get the frog soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And all right. Okay. And then they have the scene with Kane and Bubble and the moon, where they're kind of watching what's going on, and this is another thing where Bubble kind of seems to be.
Sorry, can I go back a little just a sec?
Sure.
So I like Jack says something about Ragatha saying about how she doesn't that she's taking advantage of him or taking advantage of people by being that way, and then he mentions that he that's the serious thing he says, but then he covers it up by saying, "Oh, and she's dumb and looks weird," right? Which is obviously to change the way he speaks. It's obvious that that's a cover for what he really thinks, which is the first part, and of course the tail. But I don't know if the tail is that important. But anyway, sorry, I interrupted you before we.
Yeah, I was. This is another with the moon and Bubble and Kane, watching from the sky, and Kane's like, "Oh, they seem happy or whatever," and then again, that seems to set him off. And again, the moon and Kane, the moon acts strangely towards Kane, or the sun also does too, I guess.
Right? Well, we isn't the moon didn't we from an earlier episode 1 or 2? The moon's sexually interested or something, is hitting on him or something
yeah.
He's trying to avoid the moon because she's always, But I don't know if we really see this in here, but basically he's just like, hey, let's, it seems to be like he's losing control, or he's, not becoming the primary person or the most important, thing in their lives like he's supposed to be, and that upsets him. And I think that's reflected in the next episode as well, right? Because the next episode is, it's guns, but it's also bookended by the favorite character,
right?
Aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
And he initially announces that he himself is the favorite character. But anyway, I'm getting ahead.
And Bubble says you should die or something, to Kane. And it's like, again, Bubble is getting very openly hostile. Bubble, the first episode was kind of like this witless, slave almost. Is like, Bubble, clean that up or whatever, and now Bubble is getting prodding and looking at opportunities to be bothering Kane, and then of course Bubble swearing.
Yeah, Bubble starts swearing. What the heck?
Okay, so then then the next thing is the intermission.
And Kane says, the moon says they look happy, and Kane says, "Wait a minute, that's a bad thing."
Right.
For them to be happy, but anyway, yeah. Sorry, go
ahead. Then they have this crazy intermission.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about that? I've been watching it, and it's very psychedelic. It's very, that type of you're on mushrooms or something. But I didn't get the point anyway right off the bat. Was there something I'm missing?
Yeah, I'm not sure I do either. But then we see Ribbit here, the frog. His door at least.
Yeah.
And
so I'm from that I'm taking that the frog was his friend. Was Jack's friend.
Right. Right. And also well, there was also the clown one who abstracted in the
cough blow, but and that's referenced in the next episode as well. But it's either one of those two for sure. I think it's the frog, but
and it mentions here that Kane freezes up at the end of the intermission, and then Bubble sends them to the next one, according to the summary here. So that's strange. So again, I'm starting to realize, like, is Bubble engaged in a coup? What's going on here? This is, it's like the plot is thickening here, but in very ways that aren't clear to me at all, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he says to Zubul, "We're intermissioning," and then Zubul says, "Why?" And then he sort of freezes up, and then nothing happens, and then Bubble's like, "Back to the show." Bubble says, "Back to the show."
Mm-hmm. And then so the next one's the bar.
Yeah, which I think is pretty,
kind of film noir kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's kind of, there's a lot going on in this part. So Extra History says intermission is like Pink Elephants on Parade-esque. I would agree with that. They just like to do the trippy visual stuff. Yeah, maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's just trying to confuse us.
Well, but that doesn't mean that there couldn't be more breadcrumbs tossed in there during all that, though. Okay, so the summary says they're supposed to be mobsters or everything. I didn't pick up on that. I thought it was just people that were, in a bar.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. It's just, to me, it's just a bunch of people in a bar in a film noir. They don't do anything that's gangsterish. Like, they don't, yeah.
B-Brick says, "Love the noir adventure. Wearing my Bar Pomni cosplay to the theater." Okay, going to see the final in the theater. Okay. So Zubul's the bartender, and then Jax mentions about whiskey sour, but without the egg white, because he's vegan again.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're kind of pounding that point more than once, right? So it's not just haha vegan funny,
Yeah, yeah. It's but what does it mean? I don't know.
Right. Yet. And so there's a lot of Zubul and Jax butting heads here, which Jax keeps on playing off like, "Oh, I'm just having fun," It's like,
yeah.
And Zubul's calling him out pretty accurately too. It's like,
yeah,
are you just saying that? Do you have a point? It's
yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Like, she's Zubul is calling him out directly, and he's Jax is jaxing, right? He's being jaxed.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
play it all off like he doesn't care.
He also has a bit of a point, though. It's like, "Oh, you're a bartender and a tattoo artist." It's like, yeah, you are a little bit of a a stereotype, right?
So we find out Zubul has been a bartender, a tattoo artist.
Mm-hmm.
Pomni was an accountant for like a supermarket,
mm-hmm.
and was also a thrill seeker.
Okay, yeah, this is an important point here, right? Because Pomni mentions that she explored abandoned buildings and filmed it and put it on the internet. And it's like, oh, I started to think, okay, this is how Pomni got the headset, right? It's like,
yes, the headset issue,
right? Yeah. I mean, they don't say that explicitly, but it makes sense, right? It's like, oh, I was in this abandoned building and I put this thing on my face and suddenly I'm here,
Well, no, she said that she was a thrill seeker and she used to record those.
Yeah. But right. I'm saying,
and post them.
This could have been the last thing she did, though.
Yeah.
Meaning she had done this more than once, and she also mentioned no one watched them.
Yeah.
So I feel that
kind of like the show.
Exactly. That's right. So it hits close to home. It's a little painful.
Yeah. Ouch. Thanks, Pomni.
Right. But I found that very interesting. Again, because Pomni, it's a pretty deep insight. First of all, she's 25. She's an accountant. Worked for a grocery store. Again, kind of an unfulfilling life, maybe, that she feels the need to go thrill seeking. And then
a grocery chain, like just sitting there doing the books for some big grocery chain. Like, it seems very,
And then the thing that she does to try to share with people, no one's interested in.
Yeah.
It's like, this is, I don't know what to think about, but these aren't just miscellaneous things being thrown in there, right?
Yeah. What about? I mean, after they do those, Jax talks about what he was.
Not really, but yeah, he does.
I mean, do you think? I mean, it sounds like a fake, right? Like I was a recovering cancer patient or something.
Well, yeah, it's Breaking Bad.
And Zubul cuts him off and says, "Oh yeah, reference that, right?"
Well, and did you notice Ragatha's like, what? Ragatha doesn't get the reference.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure if that means more than she just didn't know about it, or that's telling us something about when she came from.
Okay, so Breaking Bad, I can't remember when it ended. I mean, I've seen it. I didn't remember. So it's 2008 to 2013, right?
Mm.
And she's 25. So she would not get the reference, which
implies Pomni's 25.
Pomni's 25. Yeah, Pomni's 25. So
Ragatha's the one that didn't get it.
Oh, Ragatha didn't get it?
Right.
Okay, so that implies that it's before her time, right?
Well, I don't know. Is it, or it's just she didn't, or Ragatha came here before that time?
Yeah. Extra History says the creator of the series takes place in 2017. I didn't know that, but that makes sense. So Breaking Bad ended in 2013. So Ragatha, well, that's interesting. That maybe says something about her character.
Yeah, again, I'm not able to put all these pieces together. I'm just
there's a lot of pieces, and we're just you know what. If you've come here to get the answers as to what's going on, you come to the wrong place. Sorry.
That's right.
We are struggling through it like everybody else. And that's what we're hoping that maybe we bring up something that you might not have noticed, or you bring up something that we didn't notice. And
yeah, we're probably struggling through it, having seen it about 100 times less than, let's say, B-Bricks or Extra History. no knock on it. I enjoy fans of
this is fun. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to dig our way through it and figure, and maybe we can, maybe we'll figure out what's going on. People make jokes that Kinger's been there since 1996. He wasn't aware of 9/11. We got that right from King. We get that later in episode 7 or 8. I think we find out more. We get more about Kinger and the fact that he's been there long. And it's like the late 90s for him, I think, if I remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is I think there's since the beginning of the show has been a relatively short period of time, like a matter of weeks or something.
Yeah.
But so I mean, but so these other people have been in here for a year. I mean, Kinger's been in here for decades. And
so there's the order according to B-Bricks, which Kinger is obviously there the longest. We see later on, not in the next 2 episodes, Ragatha comes in with Kinger is by himself.
See, I think that Ragatha not being familiar with that, I think, was an indication of the time frame she's been here. Because I mean, we later on we do see her pop when she does pop in. And so again,
we get the impression that Kinger's been there, have been there a long time by himself.
Right.
Well, now there may be other characters that come in as well that are gone, like Kaufmo and the Frog or something, right? But we know that Kinger is by himself for a while. I mean, I'm going. This is not part of these episodes, but Kinger's there by himself, and then Ragatha shows up, and then some others. There's others fit in there somewhere as well, right? Like Kaufmo and the Frog, and who knows what else, right?
Right. And okay, so then there's also this bit about Jax and the corn. Kinger orders this drink, some kind of corn coblets, and then she has this corn cob, and Jax is like, "What's that?" It's like he's alarmed by it, and then of course he's denying any issue. So I'm not sure what that's about, but there's something there.
We find a little in the next episode. He talks to Pomni about it, but we'll get to that, I guess.
And then Okay, and so there's this other thing. It's a little weird because I don't remember something else. And Jax, it's like he says something. Oh, are you even old enough to drink? To Pomni, and that's when she says she's 25 or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's weird. A little off-putting. Maybe nothing to it, but so okay.
Maybe because she's this cute, youngish-looking character, right?
Maybe
she's got that. She's got that, that. Yeah.
Nope. I don't know. And then we hear a little more on Gangle and the fast food thing, and then she talks about being in community college for graphic design, and then says she's not really pursuing art. And then Zubul says, "Oh, we can make some art, kind of thing." Zubul Zubul creeps me out at times. I don't know what's up with Zubul. I'm getting a bad vibe though.
That's Jax acting. She's old enough to even have a job. We also find out about Ragatha, right? How she's born wealthy. She says on a farm. They had this stuff. She used to work in real estate, and she's obviously got some problems with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like serious, like it sounds kind of horrific. You're one of those, you grew up and your parents were always, giving you a hard time and, never gave you any positive, reinforcement or anything. They always just, you weren't good enough or anything. That's what it sounds like her upbringing is, which would be, somewhat traumatic, I guess.
Right. Yeah, so it's basically this info dump, right, that we're seeing on all these characters,
especially in the noir part. We're basically finding everything out, at least their main background, not the details of them. Yeah, I mean Ragatha's backstory is a bit sad, it seems, and then I don't know if the characters are telling the truth. There's nothing to suggest she's not. I mean, the only one you probably suspicious whenever he tells his backstory is Jax. Maybe lying, but
there's this thing where Pomni mentions Queenie, right? And Jax, it's like he doesn't, it's like he's never heard that before or whatever. And I'm starting to wonder with Jack, because Jack, you could Jack just doesn't care. It's like, Kinger's crazy, so he just dismisses him. And the same thing about what are we seeing something here?
All right, I'm going to put that spoiler in timeout. Okay. I think I got it. Don't read it if you don't want to read
it. Okay, I missed it. Okay, just get rid of that completely.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing it in Restream.
Okay, sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I was gonna. What I was talking about Jax is that, again, he's got this thing where it's like, I didn't know that could happen. With him, his brain. I'm a number, like when Jax. Remember when he had his orientation thing with the fast food episode,
right?
But and then he's got this thing about he's being programmed as a vegan, and then he seems to, it's like something's just it's like he has a hole in his memory. I'm like, I wonder if Jax has been really screwed with, in all this.
Like maybe he can be messed with or has been messed with.
Yeah, and it's like, again, he had these friends that have what they call abstracted, and it's like I wonder, it's like I don't know. I don't have answers for any of these things, but the weird stuff is kind of jumping out.
I think there's more to it the next episode. More to it. like what you're talking about.
Okay, sure. Anyway, so then the corn thing, and then the one of the NPCs comes in. The hat guy. He's the one that pops. He comes.
Disappears.
Right, yeah, disappearing guy, right? Which I don't know. That for some reason that strikes me as funny when he shows up and blinks out. And then again, more with Pomni and Jack's interaction here. Again, it's thick with it. Let's see, anything else about this?
Yeah, if anybody comes back, if that guy comes back, what's the point of giving spoilers? I don't know if any of those spoilers are true or not. I personally just ignore them. I could come in and say anything. I could tell you guys a bunch of stuff. Hey, I heard this is what's happening. So it'll be baloney. If they come back, we'll just ban them again.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. Again,
and if they come back and don't try to spoil anything and participate, then I'll leave them here.
What kind of loser has to come to a channel with like 5 or 6 people watching and act like a dick? It
seems very stupid. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah, I would just ignore leaks.
Yeah.
When you're as old as me, you'd hear all kinds of crap about what's happening, and most of the time it turns out to be false.
So, yeah, I actually missed it. I didn't even see the comment. I saw the reference to the comment. So
I read it over quick. I've already forgotten what it says.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay, so
guy.
then
you like the disappearing jokes? Extra history likes them.
I do. I think they're hilarious. In the next one. Okay, so we have the softball game, right?
Yes.
Well, let me just address the disappearing guy because he comes out to sing the national anthem. He's like, "Oh, sorry."
They couldn't spend 3 minutes having him sing the full anthem, so
right. But it's also funny because everybody applauds, after his.
Yeah. Well, it's not like real enthusiastic applauding. It's kind of like clap, clap, clap. Like a polite clap.
Yeah. Okay, so the now I forgot who did who came up with the softball one. I forgot. Was it Ragatha?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure that the chat knows who came up with the baseball one. Yeah, I don't. I don't think they reference it right away though. Anyway, but someone in the chat will tell us.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that they're playing against the evil Digital Circus, right? So it's like evil Pomni and evil, Zubul and so on and so forth. Okay, Ragatha. Because Ragatha previously in a previous episode was teaching Gangle to bat. This is one of the times when she got her mask broken by Jax, I think, because or she was pitching, maybe it was, and Jax hit it and broke her mask. But so Ragatha apparently is a fan of softball. Episode 4. So they're they introduce the opposite team, and they get evil Orbsman, which has appeared before, and Jax said, "I hate that guy," in the episode where they were at the Spudsies. So again, they're like colored differently or whatever. The evil Pomni is swearing all the time.
Yeah.
Evil Jax is like a real timid, like nice guy. He's like, "Oh, let's all have fun." Yeah. So this is kind of a
and the one the evil no Gangle there's no evil Gangle,
right?
And Gangle remarks that, how come there's no evil me, right?
Right.
So that's
because it's all your favorite characters and Gangle.
Oh.
Poor Gangle. And so and
one of the things I noticed, Jax likes evil Ragatha. She's like, yeah, she's cool.
Yeah. And evil Kinger is not evil Kinger. It's like he's got another name. What is it?
Dictator or something like that.
Yeah. And he's also swearing too. So which is fun. The swearing is really ramping up. Is this a sign we're seeing here?
Yeah, there's a lot of And then next episode, Zubul puts out a ton of when Zubul gets killed. It's like at the very end. Yeah. But anyway, the swearing is ramping up a little bit.
Yeah, and okay, so there's another vote in here because again, Zubul and Jax are going at each other, still, in this one, and
Coach Dictator,
right, and Gangle calls for a vote though, which is to put Jax in a maid outfit,
and they don't see what it is, right? Like we don't see what it is until it
right.
happens.
Did you notice the vote though?
Yeah, Pomni voted no.
Right.
And Jax voted no, but I think Jax's vote was automatic because he doesn't know what's happening, right?
I'm not sure about that, but the point is that Pomni didn't vote with the other ones.
Yes. Yes.
So if you want to draw some symbolism out of this, and so he's pissed off about this, and he talked about wanting the evil Jax to die and all this stuff, or I'm going to kill you, or and
he wants to kill his opposite,
right? But he also chases Gangle around to get back at her, for
the vote.
This. Yeah, Gangle fleeing, in fear. Okay, so this goes on, and they're playing the game, and there's Pomni fields a ball and swears a lot, if you, and Kinger's, coaching the whole thing, and he takes Zubul's eye for the ball at one point, and
they lose the ball, and evil Zubul keeps the eye.
Right.
They gotta get a new ball from Kinger,
right?
Or sorry, from Kane.
You're right. And well, there's also this. Okay, so then there's this interaction with Pomni and Ragatha, where she had said something like, "Oh,
that's
you
the key part, I think, of this part."
Yeah, and Ragatha gets mad and was yelling at Jax, and Pomni's like, "Oh, hey, calm down," and then she like snaps at Pomni. So again, there's all these different interactions going on. Zubul and Jax going at each other, and then Jax, cozying up to Pomni, and Ragatha like getting upset by that. And I'm sure this is all going somewhere, but
yeah. So like some of the key stuff with Ragatha and Pomni, it's like Pomni says it's okay to show negative emotions. That's the kind of the thing, you have these. We all have negative emotions. It's okay to show them, as long as you don't, go too far. And then Ragatha starts going off on Jax, and Pomni sort of says, "Hey, you're going too far." And then Ragatha's like, "Hey, but you you suggested I do this, but yeah. Here's the quote there, right there. What, you were the one that said I should be a jerk sometimes."
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly that's like so she's kind of like going off, but she kind of goes. I mean, she goes a little far, right? Like it's a little bit over the top, right? Like from hey, showing negative emotions, like I don't like you, versus yelling at people and etc.
Yeah. Okay. Here's something I want to bring up: is even though it's like, oh, they seem like they're enjoying these things or whatever, they're going at each other a lot in these vignettes, right? Whereas when they're doing Kane's things, they're generally forced to work
against Kane, yeah,
right. Yeah. So it's like, is there something to that? I don't know.
Yeah, the stakes are lower in these things. They don't care as much. Like it's not, because so they're using the time. I mean, it's good for us because we get a chance to find out about their true character a little bit, right? Because they're talking to each other, they're bringing things forward. But no, you're right. That's a good point.
And it's like, we're seeing Kane like, oh, I don't like this or whatever. But it's like, is that just a reaction? Is that a manifestation of him recognizing there's something wrong with this? Mm-hmm. As opposed to it being like a personality flaw of his. I don't know. A few surprising things happen. Gangle actually hits. I don't. Did she get hit a home run or she got get on base or something? But she succeeded in some way.
She home run.
Okay.
I don't think, but
Right. She says that Ragatha's coaching had helped her. And Coach Dictator he is swearing. I don't know. That's he cracks me up for whatever reason. And then Pomni lets Ragatha bat because Ragatha had struck out or something or flown out. And so then Pomni lets her bat for
her.
Yeah, right. And then
you couldn't do, but anyway,
right.
Who cares?
Yeah. And then let's see. They trying to remember how.
Well, basically that Kane wants this to end, so he says, "Oh, Ragatha goes up. She doesn't even get pitched to, right?" And she goes, "Ragatha, you hit a home run." And she's like, "What?" And you hit 3 home runs in a row, you win. And he wants to end the game, right? So, it's the game's over, and they're like, wait a second, that's not how baseball works. And I think it's Evil Pomni that says we didn't. One of them anyway says we didn't even get a chance to bat. Kane's like, Kane doesn't care.
Right.
Let's get out of here. Wants to end it.
Yeah. So this is the.
Did you notice the scoreboard? It says 2 to 57, and then he resets it to 3 to 0-0. Like 57, and then how did they get 57 runs? They didn't even get the chance to bat. But yeah.
Well, okay, is this an AI thing, like 6 fingers or whatever?
I don't know.
I would guess if you went through, you would see a lot of those kinds of things. It's like that just doesn't make any sense. It's like
yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good point. The corn is brought back. I noticed it's brought back. It's sitting beside Jax, and then they're having a discussion with, Jax, Pomni, and Ragatha. He doesn't notice it until like later, and he's like, ah.
Well, he suddenly pops back to his normal stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not vegan anymore."
Yeah, because they end this, and that's because it's the end of the right.
Yeah.
The whole story is done, right?
Yeah.
Because this is the last one, right?
Yeah, so they're back in the circle, and we're really running long here, so we gotta get to the other episode. So then they're kind of saying, "Oh, we like this or that," and then Ragatha, is kind of they're reinforcing this whole thing that Ragatha is now feeling isolated or separated from them, and again Jax is like, "Oh, Pomni, I think I was going to show you or whatever," and she goes off with him. And there was another. Was it this episode? No, that was the next episode. Sorry, I'll save it for that. And then we see this NPC watching them,
lurking around.
Yeah. Now there's been other instances of him popping in, now and again. You see him for a second.
57's a recurring number, really. I hadn't noticed before. I got to pay more attention. All right. Okay. Jack Devise, we're off. Yeah. Okay. And they're back. And then, Ragatha seems a little isolated at the end.
Yeah.
Right? Because Jax and Pomni, as you said, go off. I want to show you that thing. And the other characters are walking off in a group. And then, and then we see Mr. NPC. I don't think he's disappearing guy, is he? Maybe. I mean, he looks like the typical NPC that we don't see him disappear. But anyway.
Right. No, disappearing guy is red, I think, right?
Is he? No.
I think so.
Anyway.
Okay.
Is that anything else you want to say about this episode?
No. Well, other than the fact that I'm guessing this is when it's all over, we'll probably look back at this episode and be like, oh,
and realize a lot of what's
right.
There's a bunch. I'm hoping that the writing is so good that we're going to look back and go, hey, there's all these hints.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. Extra history, good points. Yeah, I think so too. Basically, this was an episode that gave us a lot of interesting, a lot of background on the characters and a lot of interaction between them, and we see a lot of, a little bit of stuff coming out about all of them. Disappearing guy is red. Okay, so you were right. Cam.
Yep.
So this is just some other guy. I mean, he's in episode 7, I think, right? Like,
yeah, there's NPCs all over. There's a ton of NPCs, right?
Yeah, but he's actually, in episode 7 or 8, he's actually key to the thing. But anyway,
right.
We're only going to go up to 6. All right. Shall we jump to anything else you want to say about this? I wanted to just summarize saying that, there's a lot of stuff about everybody, and we're getting a lot of information about them. Move on. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Going a little long here. So, okay. So episode 6. Turn my page on my notes. They all get guns. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's this award show coming up, and I'm trying to remember what it was. He wanted them to do something, and then I'm just long story short, and he just gives up. It's like, okay, fine. You just y'all get guns and shoot each other.
Yeah. He wants to do a trust exercise, right?
Oh, right.
So he says, we got this. So we got this favorite character awards thing. It starts off. Jax and Pomni are talking. They see Zubul hiding in the flower pot.
Right. And Jax writes her out.
I'm hiding. And Jax, of course, is a jerk. And he says he calls Kane. And there's Zubul right there. And he didn't even ask. Like he said, he was going to call him to ask him a question about something. But he doesn't even bother. And then Kane comes up with he says we're going to do the awards. And we have to do. He wants to do a trust exercise with everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he describes a thing where it's this room, and you go in there, and nobody can see or hear. Which, spoiler, comes up later.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, it's you have a revolver or whatever, and you can put a bullet in it or not, and then you come out.
No, you have a weapon.
Yeah.
And you go into the room, and you're supposed to take all the bullets out of it. And then you come and you give the weapon the gun to another character, and that character is supposed to shoot themselves, but they can also shoot you. So you should not put any things in the gun, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. But of course, he gives the gun to Jax first.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because he hasn't been listening. So you have to re-show him everything. He goes he just touches his head and puts all the information fast forward into his mind, which
meaning he could change his mind again.
Yeah, we were talking in the last episode. Oh, they can't change their mind or anything, but Kane puts this into his mind directly. We don't see him do that with anybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. And of course, what does Jax do?
Immediately shoots Ragatha.
It's Ragatha, of course. He doesn't bother to go into the thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's also this mention that Zubul talks about how when she's hiding in a room, Kane comes by and starts singing Daisy Bell.
Yeah. So they do a pretty good rendition later, but anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is a reference to that, but what does HAL 9000 sing?
Is that what Hal sang as well?
Yes, when Dave was disconnecting him.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Good catch.
Mm.
Good catch. I think you missed a key thing, though.
Yeah.
What does Zubul say at the very beginning?
I don't know.
Zubul wants to change the parameters so we can have sex.
Oh,
can we change things so we can have sex?
I'm very suspect of Zubul.
Yeah, and then Kane kind of goes blank and resets. Right? I mean, Jax makes, hey, now we're talking. He makes, of course, joke about it, but then Kane sort of glitches out, sort. I mean, not really glitches, but just sort of resets and just carries on as if he didn't hear it. Right? There's a big pause, and then so I thought, I mean, that's kind of an interesting aside, right? Like it just sort of carry on from there. Yeah.
Well, there's this whole theme, Zubal's unhappy with its body, and it's like
Extra history says that Daisy Bell was the first song ever sung by a computer.
Yes, which is why
it's in 2001.
Yeah, yes.
And done here again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so it could be a reference to that skipping 2001. But it's certainly a reference to something in that chain, or would seem to be. Okay, so
I want to mention here that this is where, again, like I mentioned last episode, Kane goes like there's that break where he just goes like, and his huge anger comes out, and it he gets huge and just like really focused in on him, and the characters don't seem to react like this sort of extreme anger out of nowhere sort of thing, which makes me think that maybe it might not. I mean, it seems strange that they don't react, but maybe maybe it's something he's doing in his mind that isn't actually showing to everyone else. But anyway, that's my own personal theory or idea, but I don't know.
Yeah. So Kane's trying to come up with a short adventure because the award show that he's got to work on, right? And he goes, it's some sports that he invented, which he goes through the list, which made me laugh. Also, it's
you like those sports.
Yeah, it's I've written down. It's a 400-meter vertical skedaddle, a bisection boogie egg ball, lateral hijinks, orange sport, ball run, walk ball, run walk, and ball. The graphics that were going with this, so that was, I don't know, that just made me laugh.
Yeah, and that's the point where Zubul says that sounds a bit convoluted, and then as Biebrick says, "You look convoluted." And that's the whole anger thing from Kane before.
Well, yeah, and Zubul, again, there's all these instances of Zubul being the one like resisting this, and again, like with the therapy thing and all the, it's like for some reason that's
resists more about Kane, whatever Kane wants to do or says.
Yeah, and he can't figure Zubul out, right?
Yeah, and he's trying to, like, he hates Zubul, but he's always trying to please Zubul. Maybe like I mentioned before, it's a little unusual. Why is Zubul so important to Kane that way?
Yeah. So then
he doesn't seem to care about getting the approval of any other of the characters, right?
Yeah. But maybe because the other ones go along.
Yeah, there's some good. The chat is coming up with, there's, Kane says, have some guns. I don't care anymore. That's it. Have guns and have fun. I think Zubul says that, and of course he says, I didn't say have fun. Kane says, and of course someone says, I forget who. Isn't that a little aimless? And he says, use the sights. Yeah, there are some pretty good lines at the beginning of this. Yeah. It's aimless. Use the sights. Makes sense.
There's also a reference to the stupid sauce here because Zubul wants to use it to get high.
Yeah, but but it's about reference to Ragatha. But it's not like Ragatha. Remember that time you got high? Well, no, she got dumb and she didn't do it on purpose. Like make it sound like she's like, I'm just gonna get high and whatever. Like that's not what happened.
Yeah, there's another important point in here. Is Kane says, what did he say? Ass, go out assuming. He's like, you make an ass out of you and Ming. Yeah. And then, Ming shows up. Right. And then Pomley's like, did he say ass?
Yeah. He says, did Kane just say it? Yeah. So
this whole swearing thing is like a clock ticking down or something, right? It's like,
is ass a swear word?
Well, yes,
maybe.
But the point is,
it was beeped out in the episode, right?
Was it
when Kane said it?
Okay,
I think.
But the point is, they've made a point of the swearing thing, like from the very first episode, right? It's like, no, you can't have the swearing because it's family friendly or whatever, and it's like, and it keeps on coming up, again and again. and Bubble swearing and getting bleeped, and so it's like, Chaos also has 5 fingers, 4 fingers.
Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah. So again, so Ming introduced here. Built the whole person for that one liner. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Bit of foreshadowing regarding an NPC. And so, okay, so they get around to the whole thing where it's like, okay, fine, just take the guns. And it's like, I don't care. And then he's like, I'm going to go prepare for the
award show.
The award show, right? This is a lot happens here.
And they go, okay, well, he's like, all right, they say, it's aimless, them all running around. So they decide, all right, go into the teams. I think the teams portion is fairly important, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, this is where the thing with Jax is like, oh, Gangle, you're going to be on my team. Comes up and
dragging Gangle basically,
right? And she's like, oh no, I want to team up with Zubul or whatever. And then he just kind of blows it off. And then there's this interaction with Ragatha and about Kinger and so
they don't want Kinger to go with Jax,
right?
They want to prevent that from happening, or at least Ragatha does.
Yeah. And then, but then it's like, oh, well, because Pomni's kind of making an excuse. Oh, okay, well, I can handle Jax, and
but it's what Ragatha suggested first. He goes, well, I'll go with Kinger to, make sure Jax can't go with them. But you could have done the opposite, right? She could have sacrificed herself in a sense and hang out and been the one to hang out with Jax, but she doesn't do that.
Yeah. And it's a weird thing because it's like, Ragatha doesn't want Jax and Kinger to be teamed up, and she doesn't want to be teamed up with her, and she doesn't want Pomni to be teamed up with her. Him, I mean, with Jax. It's like, it's like, well, what exactly do you want then?
Yeah, because she's been kind of worried about Jax and Pomni getting together. I mean, that really comes out in this episode, but it's kind of been hinted at, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then there's this weird moment, where she's like, oh, Pomni's going off towards Jax, and Ragatha's like, oh, if you ever want to talk or something, kind of going back to her typical pattern, and Pomni like turns around and gives her a thumbs up, but then she's kind of grimaces, it's like, okay, that's this this whole thing with Ragatha, Jax, and Pomni keeps on developing here. And
I think extra history's got it there. Rag is digging herself into her own problems. Yeah. And this is a good point too. Why does Ragatha not want Jack's team with Kinger? I mean, I think because she likes Kinger maybe, and she doesn't want him to see him, be tortured by Jax. But I mean, in honesty, Kinger's the one least to be tortured by Jax. He's going to ignore it or forget about it happening later because he's, crazy and stuff usually, right? Like Jax is probably better at torturing everybody else, but Kinger is going to be. So it is kind of unusual.
I don't think Jax doesn't really target Kinger. He's just dismissive of it. He's like, oh, who cares?
He's crazy. Right. Yeah, he picks primarily he picks on Gangle and Ragatha and everybody else with Kinger, right? So that's kind of for her to say that, it seems a little bit off. I don't know.
Yeah, and then Jackson messing around with the gun or whatever, and Pomni's like, "Oh, you need a partner or whatever," and he's like, "Okay, sure." He's kind of again playing it cool. He thinks, I guess.
Yeah, but there's no one else left. I mean, and his choice rejected him. So I mean, he's got what choice does he have really?
Right. Now, and then you've got this whole thing with Gangle and wanting Zubul to hold her mask so it doesn't get broken. Because she wants to laugh maniacally with a Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. There's something about Gangle and Zubul that I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way.
Okay, so they got the teams together. Yeah. I mean, you're right. There's something. It's a little bit. I'm not sure. It's a little unusual, right? What's going on?
Well, it shouldn't be unusual. I ranted about this before, and I won't get into it now. But it's like, I wish the world wasn't such that I had to think that's unusual.
Yeah. I will mention there's a little clip in here. So after they get their team set up, there's a quick cut, and Kane is looking at pictures of the office, like Polaroids of the office, and they're not like pictures. They're obviously Polaroids because how they're set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's key or not, but he's looking at pictures of the office, right? Like a generic office, which we're going to see later in episode 8, I think, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting. He's looking at that at this time. Like, what does that have to do with the character, with what he's supposed to be doing? The character awards. He's just
I forget. I think it was the last episode. There was another thing where he had like his notepad. He was looking at it, and he was just a bunch of pictures of bees.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He draws a lot. So yeah, he does that kind of thing. The one time he was looking at him, it's like he was looking at like baby pictures. It's like he was recollecting something.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I just thought this was interesting because I know that in episode whatever 8 or 7 or 8, whatever the next ones we do, there's a big office sequence.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, yeah, the CNA logo on it. Yeah, you're right, and it's we're assuming it's the office where that the digital circus was programmed or something, or their servers are or something like that. But anyway, yeah,
right.
Can't go into too much in that because that's the next time. But anyway, yeah, sorry, go ahead. This is the part Kinger makes they go off, they start separating. They think they're going to get the guns. The guns all disappear. You got to go find them. So they all head off to find them. Kinger, Ragatha's pissed that she only has one life, and Kinger makes the butterfly we mentioned already.
Yeah. So yeah, they go off chasing. Okay, Beabrix is pointing out here about the nature of the conversation. Yeah, there's something there.
Zuber and Gang are talking about Jax being mad about Gango refusing to be on a team with him. Kind of gives off that they talk about him like an abusive ex. Yeah, I got that too. Like Gangle is afraid that if I don't it's like a typical like some of this abusive ex sort of thing. If I don't do what they say, I'm gonna pay for it later, right? Yeah. It does. I got that same vibe too from it from listening, and I was like kind of interested. I'm like, well, that's kind of strange, like because. You can get I mean, Jax can be a jerk and take revenge on people, but you can you can go to your own room and you should be sort of safe there, get away from the other characters. Even though Jax seems to have a key whenever he wants, so we save later. But yeah, I think Beabrix says exactly that makes sense. I got that same feeling from it myself, the way that they're talking.
Yeah, so the game starts, and then Ragatha has one life gone already, right? This is what we're talking. She's like, "Oh, come on, was that counted?" Because Jackson shot her previously, right? And it's like, "Oh, okay." So they start running or whatever, and then that's when Kinger, or she's complaining about that or whatever, and Kinger's like, "Oh, here, the butterfly," and he's like, "Well, I made it up." It's like, okay, that was a key bit of hint, right? Because Ragatha asks, "Oh, did Kane do that?" And Kinger's like, "No, I did that." It's like, well, how did you do that?
Yeah, I think that's a hint that they maybe have more control over what's going on than they think they do, or maybe only Kinger's realized it and can do it, or maybe that I'm not sure. Kinger may be more important than they think he is. He has the administrative privileges, whatever you want to call it. There's something going on that they might not, it's a very matrixy where I actually, if you reach a higher level of enlightenment like Kinger, then you can actually, change the your environment somewhat. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. So okay, so then they take off and they're trying to find a Tommy gun for Gangle and Zubul, and then we just said this thing with the life for Ragatha, and then we have this scene with Jax and Pomni.
Yeah, that's kind of that. I think that's a key one too. Go ahead.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, Pommy's like, Mo, I'll find the guns or whatever, and you could shoot him, because it's like, oh, I don't want to shoot him, and then he's like, what are you doing? It's like none of this.
Yeah,
He's
why
like,
not?
none of this is real. Why not just go along with it?
We're cartoon characters,
right? And this is where he thinks, oh, I'm the funny one or whatever, right? This whole
he talks about the archetypes. He gives all the archetypes. These characters are all the archetypes, and you, except for Pomni, which we haven't figured out yet. He says.
Yeah, but it's kind of like he's disassociating, here. It's like, I don't want to deal with whatever is real about me, because I could just be this thing instead.
Yes.
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
He's hiding from something, right?
Yeah, he's hiding from himself in a sense, his identity, because he's like, I don't have to deal with what I am. I'm gonna pick this archetype. And he's the only one who ascribes to this, right? I don't think the other characters necessarily ascribe to the fact that, hey, we're just cartoon characters. Let's all pick an archetype and follow it. Everyone else is just going through and being themselves. But Jax has set himself up and said, okay, I'm this archetype. I am the funny guy, and I'm going to just be funny.
Right. So they're in the hallway, like where all the rooms are or whatever, and it's a fairly long scene where they're going through this whole thing where he's convincing her to go along with this, and she decides, today I'm going to be evil.
She says that.
Pomni the evil, not evil Pomni the evil. And Jax also it's like, quit trying to make this real. He's like, just do it. And then that's when she was like shooting the cans or whatever, when it's just like, it's again reinforcing what he's saying.
Don't aim the gun like you're a real, just do the old side pull and just
right. But that's revealing his mindset too. It's like, just go with it, just go along with this thing, and it works out, kind of thing. Which again, it could be a very unhealthy message if you think of it.
It kind of reminds me too of back to Looney Tunes type cartoon, right? Where the characters don't actually, they'll shoot a gun, and if you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit, right? If thing is going to happen, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter what you do. Physics don't matter. Nothing, you don't have to try to do it. It's just, it either happens or it doesn't happen. And, and the difference to that later, I think, in a sense, where the trick shots, right? That we see, in the fight with Kinger, plus the end battle scene, where Pomni just trusts me and she just shoots and fires, and the bullets go all over the place and hit Zubul. It reminded me very much of the Looney Tunes type of. There was a Looney Tunes RPG cam from way back in the day. I forget what it's called, Tunes or something. And it was, you could basically do anything that you could think of, and you would be rewarded. Oh, I'm going to make this, and the more creative it was, the GM would reward you and say, okay, that happens. Like, that was the kind of the thing, like no physics, no nothing, just like a real cartoon. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so this kind of progresses, and Zubul apparently found a sniper rifle because she starts picking off Kinger. And then Ragatha doesn't. I think she doesn't have a gun. They're kind of running around helpless. And well, Kinger's like has a gun and he's like shooting up there, and he's like line credit. He's like, tactical roll. He like just kind of flops.
Tactical roll.
Right, but he's trying to get Ragatha.
You got to say it before you do it, right?
Right. So Kinger's engaged in the game though, right? Which again, he is often, like the other time.
He's not crazy though. He's
kind of crazy. I mean, he's in the game, but he's not.
But he's
exactly,
not like he's in the game. He's understands what's going on. He's not like, what?
Right. Yeah. He's not clueless. But like when he was riding the bull, like they had the picture of him riding the bull when they were all at the Spudsies. Okay, so they're going through this, and the fighting is starting, and
before we go, I'm just extra history's point. I think that the cartoon violence is another aspect of the unreality of the situation, and the whole, you can make, whatever you want to happen will happen, right? I can point my gun behind me and pull the trigger, and it'll hit whatever I wanted it to hit. That kind of aspect, and it kind of plays into the whole, we have a little bit of control over our environment, and what we want to happen will just happen. I think. I don't know if that's true, if that's how they're getting to, but that's what it gives me, those vibes, and that kind of thing. So go ahead, Ken.
Just so Ragatha gets her hands blown off at one time, and again, her getting shot is funny because it leaves behind the stuffing,
Yeah.
And
poor Ragatha.
And then, right, and then again, she has a gun at one point, and then it just has the flag, that comes out and sits, and she's like, "Oh man," and Jax shoots her, blows her head off. And then later, Jax has the gun and she has nothing, and she puts her finger, again, the cartoon violence thing, puts her finger in there,
very cartoon violence,
blows up and takes him out. Which he later comments, it's like, Pommy's like, how'd that happen? He's like, I don't know.
Do you notice how angry he gets when that happens?
Yeah.
Like his character is like way, like he is, when that happens to him, he is pissed. Mm-hmm. Like he goes from his usual, I don't care self to be really pissed, pulls out another gun and shoots her a bunch of times.
Yeah, empties
it. I think that's a key, we're seeing a lot about Jax. That's a key aspect, I think.
Right. Okay, let's see. So Ragatha loses all of her lives then, and she gets put into the fish tank or whatever, whereas the losers, it says something like losers.
Loser corner or something.
Right. And then again, Pomni's very much into this game now, right? She's rolling with it,
they're getting into it.
Right. She's maniacally laughing and going after, well, not maniacally laughing like Gangle, but they have a shootout with Kinger, where they have this whole sequence where it's all dark and everything, and Kinger's like standing right there, when they walk by. And,
I think I think you missed. There's a part before that I think that's pretty key though.
Sure.
Zubul and Gangle are talking,
mm-hmm.
and Gangle says, "How are you supposed to like the part of yourself that makes you worse than everyone else?"
Mm-hmm. No comment.
No, you don't have any comment. I think that's a key thing about Gangle. I mean, Zubul says a lot back, but self-love is a lot of the aspect. But they're sort of sitting there talking. That's the part where they're either just resting there, and Zubul finds the AK-47. Will this do instead of a Tommy gun? But yeah, I thought that is a key point about Gangle, I think.
Isn't that interesting though? Will this do? Kind of along the same lines with, Zubul's not satisfied with anything about her parts.
Definitely not their body.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was Zubul's speech is it's a little more. I'm summarizing when I just say, it basically says you got to learn to love yourself, but it's a little more detailed than that. But that's kind of the gist of it. But I think that that's kind of something there. All right. Yeah, so we go on to Kinger. He's like they're like talking. Where's Kinger? And he's like in this open doorway.
Right.
We also see Zubul's words thrown back at them when Gangle asks, "Have you ever had to make that choice?" And then and I think Gangle says, "Have you ever had to make a choice?" "No, of course you haven't. You're Zubul." Right? I think Gangle says that back. So that's at the it's like the 1430 mark around there. So I think that's a key point there. People can go back and look.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn to love yourself and get reflected in Gangle's mask. I didn't notice that. going through it.
Yeah.
Extra history.
I noticed that too. I
didn't notice, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zubul stays quiet a moment after that. After he says, "Of course not your Zubul," which is obviously, I mean, everybody's got problems and damage. I mean, it's kind of foolish for Gangle to suggest that no, Zubul doesn't have any problems, or no, Zubul would never think that way.
Well,
that seems
okay.
It could be true, but
yeah, but it's like Zubul's dispensing advice all the time, right? But it's like, well, and Gangle accepting it is like, oh, of course, that it's like, oh yeah, you know what you're talking about. You wouldn't have that problem, right? Gangle wasn't like sticking it to her.
No, it wasn't sarcastic.
Right. And it's like, ooh, that was like a bit of self-realization there. It's like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't be.
Or Zubul would be thinking, I mean, Gangle thinks this of like, if I'm just thinking myself, if I was in that situation, I'd be thinking, wow, this is what Gangle thinks of me. I'm not perfect. I'm giving advice and maybe I know more, but of course I'm not, oh no, of course I would never have these sort of problems. Like that seems unreasonable.
Or it's easy for you to say, it's like easy to give advice, but now, what about when you have to do the work for yourself? I mean, because again, if you want to take this cynically, it's like, just do this. It's so easy. And it's like, well, you didn't do that. I mean, it's the opposite of what Gangle didn't put it that way. I'm saying it could easily be put that way.
Yeah, I think extra history is right here.
Yeah.
Gangle probably isn't aware of Zubul's inner issues. She only views you through the lens of a strong, confident personality. But
who isn't actually
Zubul thinks is that, oh, I'm not perfect, and it kind of by saying that Gangle has sort of made Zubul think about their own issues.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, and the reflection is not an accident.
Yeah. It reflects back on her, and she's like, "Oh, all right." Zubul's like, "Oh, that's a good point." Okay, all right. You want to go to the Kinger and the fight? I mean,
it's kind of I mean, we don't need.
It's very quick, but
yeah.
I don't think it's that important, other than
But Kinger,
but that's where we were. I just pushed you back, so I'm trying to push it back on.
Yeah. Kinger gets taken out, I guess, by his own shot, or was it by Pomni's magic shot? But
we don't know. I thought it was Kinger's shot, because he makes the point about my super shot or something, right? Like
and he ends up in the loser tank.
This one here that Bbrix mentions, the my Ricochet super move. I think that's he shoots himself, but anyway, we don't know for sure.
Anyway. And Kinger and Ragatha then have a discussion. Oh, you know what? There was something, I think it was in the last episode with the softball. Was it where Kinger like lifts up Ragatha like we won or something, and like celebrating, which was very much like picking up your little kid or something. Because Ragatha and Kinger have a certain like father-daughter relationship kind of thing, it seems to me.
Yeah.
So
this scene kind of cements it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Right. I was going back to mention that, because then this is more along those lines, Let's see.
So this discussion between the two, I think Kinger shot himself, but anyway, Ragatha, he comes into the dark area, so it's dark. So Kinger should be smarter, right?
Right.
And she does remark on that later on. How come you know what you're talking about? He doesn't say, "Oh, it's dark."
Yeah,
so I'm not stupid in the dark.
Well, and Ragatha has this info dump about how what she's dealing with here.
She's failed. She feels like she failed Pomni.
Right.
She says.
Right. And Jax, which again, it's like what happened with her and Jax, at some
she failed point. Jax, and now she's failing Pomni.
Right. And so, but again, it's this whole thing where she feels like she's responsible, or should be this. She's trying to play a role, constantly.
Yeah. Trying to be friends and save these people, so to speak. It seems like.
Right.
That's kind of the role. It seems.
Yeah, and she's probably carrying over baggage from her relationship with her mother, right?
Yeah. And that's what Kinger points out to her, right? That he says, you can't. I'm just looking at my notes here. He gives her advice and says, are you worried? Like they're worried. She's worried that she's failed Pomni, like she failed Jax. That Pomni's gonna hate her. And Kinger says, nobody. Nobody hates you. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Well, then there's this whole thing about, do you hate your? He says he used to hate himself. For the things that he caused, and it's like, okay, that's again getting into some deep lore there.
Yeah, what did he cause? Well, we're gonna find out later next couple episodes, maybe.
So okay, then we're back out, and so now you've got Zubul and this whole thing where they're chasing him around to the tubes, the tunnels, right? And so they're Gangle and Zubul are on the run, and then the Tommy gun shows up, so then Gangle gets her big moment, where she's laughing maniacally and shooting, and then Gangle gets taken out and sent to loser corner as well, and then this is where Zubul goes and runs to her room, and then they have the whole singing thing where they're tormenting her with Daisy Bell, right, which she had already told them that she doesn't like,
right,
and they're out there doing it, and she's like, really, it's like, kind of betrayed by this, and they have this duet.
Pomni goes along real quick, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she knows that Zubul's pissed about that, but
right,
the singing's pretty good,
right? Well, and it's also okay. Have you ever heard this thing, doing someone a real a-hole? It's like, oh, they do something that's cruel, and it's like, it's just a joke, man. It's like, if you push back, it's just a joke. Can you take a joke? Yeah. It's kind of that attitude that Jax is embodying a lot, and now Pomni's going along with.
Yeah.
It's like, I just got kicked in the nads. It's like, oh, it's funny joke. It's like, it's not a joke at this point,
Yeah, you tell someone knows something about you that's personal or that everyone else doesn't know, and they use it against you. Like, it's like that,
right.
Low blow, dude. You knew that I was
right.
I had a real problem with this.
Yeah, and that's what this is representing. It's a relatively mild representation, right? Because it's just about the song, but it's like but it is that, it's the same principle.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
And then we see Zubul arming up literally, and and then Jack's like, oh yeah, I have a key, because he has keys to everybody's room apparently.
It seems like it, yeah.
Which we heard it goes back to the first episode, I think. And then so then he hit him with a flashbang, and Zubul comes out, guns ablazing, and then takes off running. And then I think they're all down to one life or whatever.
Now, isn't there a reference to the frog? Like, isn't he see a frog?
Well, he sees the
frog
room,
door is
right?
there.
Yeah, because Pomni takes off after Zubul. Yeah. And he's
that's right.
She's like,
he stands there and he looks over and he sees Kaufmo and and the frog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then let's see. Pomni gets the best of her. Pomni beats her essentially, right? She drops.
She does the super shot sort of thing,
right? Which she flips her. Zubul flips her off before she gets blown out, and then
she only has one shot left,
right?
Yeah, she does the fancy twirl, spin the gun around.
Yeah.
Pretty good, and it fires up in the air like nowhere near. and it bounces several times and shoots all the guns out of Zumal's hands. Ribbit is the name of the guy, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So then we get to the scene with Pomni and Jax, where Pomni, still in character, is like, oh, well, I guess this is where, we turn on each other or whatever, and
after Zubul dies, right? They all shoot Zubul and just gun her down.
Yeah. And it's, this is, kind of, again, I think he gets back, he goes back. I'm not sure I can interpret exactly what it was about, but he, it's like Pomni says this thing and then suddenly he doesn't want to play along anymore, right? He's just like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead. He's not, well, he's playing along, but it's like, oh yeah, sure, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he goes to the non-caring after anymore.
Right.
After he seemed to care. Well, first of all, Pomni hugs him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like after they win, and he pushes her away, like, don't touch me.
Right. You know what? We forgot to mention, they had these other conversations about the corn and everything, and him like,
yeah, that's true,
opening up to her, right? And all this, and now
it's about the corn that why he doesn't like it, and so she's been feeling close to him, right?
Right. And now he's like, no, that's over, kind of thing. And then, she's like, oh, aren't they, Pomni's like, oh, aren't we friends? And he's like, no, we're not friends.
I was really struck by this. Like, they're all happy and she's like, yay, we won. And she gives him a hug and he's like, oh. And then he's like, all of a sudden he switches like, oh, this person's getting close to me, and pushes him away.
Mm-hmm.
Pushes Pomni away. And Pomni's like, what?
Yeah. Well, and again, so this is right after he's been reminded of Kaufmo and Ribbit, right? And
B-Bricks is there. I think you've got it hit it on the nose there. He's worried he gets attached to Pomni just like he got attached to Ribbit before she abstracted. That makes sense.
Yeah, but then they have this whole discussion about, oh, what if I abstracted? And he's like, I'd move on, and he's like, and I'd probably forget you even existed, kind of thing. So then now Pomni is, again, he's fully in cope mechanism at that point, right?
Yeah,
he's built up this wall.
He's rejecting. They've started to build up a friendship, and he's purposely rejecting Pomni's friendship.
Right after, though, he's kind of pushed this,
he's opened himself up,
right?
They both have.
Yeah, and
exactly. B-Bricks distance himself to protect himself instantly, right afterwards.
Right. And then, then they get into this whole fight thing, where Pomni's like calling him out on this whole thing and trying to like force him to deal with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty heavy scene.
It is.
Again, I don't know exactly what this is about in the end. I could see the type of thing it's about, but I don't know where it's going in the end.
So here's a little theory that, I'm not the first one. The size of Jax's eyes indicate whether he's, being at least real honest or not, right? When they're big, he's got his mask on. When they're small, you're getting more of a truth. Now, it's not necessarily the exact truth, but it's maybe the truth that he thinks, right? So in here, he's speaking, mostly his eyes are open, very big. He doesn't care anymore. He's trying to, push her away. Yeah, I don't care about you.
Yeah. And then, so, again, Pomni's trying to, she attacks him, she's choking him and bites him and all this stuff. And, trying to get him to fight back, which he doesn't, but then he like eventually like throws her off. And then he kind of like goes to the next level. It's like, it's like, you're meaningless. It's like, you're just here for me to F with, and torture essentially. And, Pomni is on the other, she's kind of like, this is BS. And, because it is, but she also is like upset by it,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a pretty heavy scene. And it kind of, they leave on bad terms.
Yeah, and he actually says, something that he gets joy out of making you suffer.
Mm-hmm. But again, that's more coping. That's him like, okay, fine. I have, it's like he's vulnerable now. So now he's trying to build up this wall again.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because what happens? It's like, well, I guess, the classic, oh, someone hurts you, so you try and hurt them back, kind of thing. And this is like maybe the opposite. It's like, oh, I'll hurt you so I don't get hurt, kind of thing.
Yeah, he mentions, she mentions, you reached out to me first. Jax reached out to him first, and he's like, you must be remembering.
Gaslighting, right?
Yeah, that's gaslighting. He knows that.
Yeah. And it's some of these things, it's like, man, that is really ringing true in things I'm seeing in the world. It's like, and just it's like, this is some ugly stuff, man.
It cuts right to the core of the characters. Pomni says, you didn't go to Kaufmo's funeral because you're scared, right?
Yeah.
And he,
well, and then he blows up at that too, right? He's like, you have no idea what you're talking about, kind of, because again, she gets one in on him about the, through his defense shield here. And hey, Pixel Pop, welcome.
Hey, welcome. You're just picking us up at the end.
And he kind of rages at her about that, about, when they're abstracting, it's like being around them, is really bad or whatever. It's like, I forget what he says exactly, but it's like torture or
he says
no fun at all.
Yeah, do you know what it's like when you're you're on? It is not pleasant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so obviously this is something he's been through a couple times, right?
Yeah, but it's interesting because who's the least pleasant person to be around in the digital circus? Him. Right. And what happens? I'm jumping ahead. What happens at the end of the episode?
He's by himself, you're saying?
Yeah, when during the I'll jump ahead a little bit. You can go back, but during the award ceremony, he leaves and he goes into the bathroom and he's right, and of course, the disappearing guy comes to the stall and disappears, but then his eyes go like that crazy, like he's starting to abstract.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Pixel Pop. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Thanks. Leave a like or subscribe on the way out.
Yeah. So right, he's again, he's by himself here, right? So now we're seeing him dealing with this, where he doesn't have to put on his show.
Yeah, I mean, I jumped ahead. Do you want to stick anything else you want to mention about the argument?
Well, no, go ahead. No, that was about it. Okay. Yeah. So then, the award show thing, and now it's like,
and it's just, like it's when he's doing that, how pleasant people are be around. His eyes are really small, and then he's like, blah, 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 and then he just stops and he stands up and he has a big shit-eating grin on his face and his eyes are huge, and he goes back to being the normal Jax. Oh yeah. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, and he's like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
This is embarrassing. I'm out of here.
Right.
So are you gonna shoot me or not? I'm out of here.
Yeah. And so they so Ragatha and Pomni kind of start to talk a little bit, and they say something about talking later or whatever. And then they're in the theater. It says that they sit away from Kinger. I didn't remember that specifically. But Jax is by himself, as you mentioned.
Jax doesn't sit with the rest of them.
See a message on the mirror, really? I missed that. Should we ask what that is? Extra history? Chill fella. Oh.
Chill fella, that's what it says. Wow, all these little I haven't been watching any we've been trying to go through this on our own.
Yeah, we're like the proverbial boomer talking about the kids stuff.
They sit in the same row as Kinger, but they're like one space away from him. They're leaving a space open that, I mean, Jax could sit beside Pomni, or he could sit between Ragatha and Kinger. Either or. I think the key thing here, I don't think the character awards are that key. I mean, other than the fact that Kane tries to give the award to himself,
and disappearing guy shows up again in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's a little fun thing, but I don't know that's like. I mean, I think the interaction between the fight between Pomni and Jax, like that is the key things with this whole thing. All right, I've got the thing up. I'm just sort of looking. He's starting to abstract. His eyes are going crazy. He can't see. Mm-hmm. I don't see the chill fella thing, but it's probably easy to. I might have to go through it at like a quarter speed or something.
Yeah. Okay. So then they're in the.
God, you're stupid.
Hello.
He says to himself. Back. Yeah, he says, "God, you're stupid" to himself. Yeah. Chill fella. All right, check that out again. Definitely something there.
I did see the credits. Yeah. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Let's see.
Post-credit scene. Oh, I don't.
Hold on. The stupid sauce. Zubal's on the stupid sauce. And then the favorite character rides, and he says, "Okay, so yeah, me. I want me." And then this is where they have the payoff with the Ming thing, right? Ming. Yeah. And then Ming comes out and says,
"Oh yeah, Zubal is right, like out of it." That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, and it's got a drink, and there's something like looks like the purple stuff, right? Yeah, those.
Stupid sauce. And yeah, so Kane falsely says that he won. It says, "Oh, me," and then it's actually Ming, and then Ming shows up and says, "Oh, you made a fool, making us both look foolish." And then roll credits, and then we have the after credit scene, which is Kane seeing him showing the ballots, and star is, I think it was stars like on a tally sheet or something, and it's he got nothing, which then freaks him out.
Yeah, I didn't. And on this rewatch, I didn't watch the credits.
Well, and Extra History was mentioning earlier that they had an actual vote going on, and as the vote was going on, it kept on directing it so you could only vote for Kane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of
so it was clearly, a tie-in, but
yeah.
Kane doesn't want me to.
Yeah, you keep popping in and out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's about it, right?
That is about the size of it. So, I mean, what are your thoughts about this episode? Real quick.
Again, it's chock full of so many things that
so very deep. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Getting to the heart of things, kind of. And I can't say I know where any of this is going. It's like I haven't watched this 50 times or I've read no commentary on it. And I don't want to. Man, is that?
It's getting, it's up there.
Anyway, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff on Jax, especially. Like, this is a Jax episode, I think. A lot about him and what's up with him. So I mean, these last two episodes really getting deeper into the characters, and we're getting to learn more about them. And this is what these nuances that we're pointing out, Cam, is what makes me think that the show is is deep and that the writing is actually good and they're actually going somewhere with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fairly impressed with, especially with the slop we're getting in from the media.
Well, again, all hinging on whether they're able to pull it off at the end, bring it together. Now, of course, we still have 2 more episodes to go through here, which get pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
But it's full, we're at this point, we're deep into it now. It's
can they pull it off? I mean,
I don't know.
Like, just the fact that we've seen the other 2 episodes already, but the fact that there's so many threads that are going on here, it's kind of like, they only have 1 episode to pull it off. Now I think that episode's an hour long though, but wow, it's going to be tough to pull it off in that episode because there's so much we've seen here. How are they going to close it all off?
It's a good point. And how many things recently have done this? Like Lost is a famous example. It's like, oh, you have all these things and supposedly, it's all this, and we're going to come to Battlestar Galactica similar. All this.
The most recent one is The Boys, which just came out last week, and everyone's saying that, oh yeah, we had all these threads that were all through the season, and they didn't pay off, and they just came to a conclusion, which was just blah.
Garbage.
All these they weren't able to, and that was a whole season.
Right. Okay. So, we're sitting here and maybe we're not putting the threads together, but where it's like, okay, notice. If it turns out that all of these things don't come together and it's just like, oh, so you just scattered a bunch of crap all over the place to make people go, ooh, ah.
Yeah.
I'm so curious about that. And then don't pay it off. Right.
It JJ with the mystery boxes that don't really pay off.
Right. That is.
I can't imagine that happening here because there's just too much. And it's all character driven. It's not like, oh, let's put polar bears. What are polar bears doing in the tropics?
Game of Thrones.
That's very surface level. Yeah, that's very surface level stuff. This is all Game of Thrones. Yeah, this is all deeper character stuff. You gotta, know what you're doing to do this stuff. I think. But,
again, it seems like the things are in a certain direction for all these characters. They're hitting points and reinforcing them, so it doesn't seem like just random things.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, they're hitting them.
It's if you could bring them for a landing or not.
Yeah, it's tough, but I'm assuming they wrote this all before, or most of it anyway. So
I had heard that because there were after one of the episodes, 7 or 8, someone was like, oh, blah blah. This is. Not to my liking or whatever. It's like this stuff is already written. It's like I'm not. It's like I'm not changing this to suit.
At points there might have been 8 months between episodes and stuff, but I don't think that was a writing thing. That was a animation thing, animating all the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that they're like, oh, we finished the episode. Oh, quick, write the next episode.
I
think the timing is due to the length of time it takes to do all this animation.
Well, yeah, and my understanding is that this concept was put together and basically start to finish. I'm not saying every detail was established before any of it aired. And it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing, and then now I got to come up with a story to fit it. I think the story was established ahead of time,
like Lost.
Right. Extra asking how would you describe the dialogue and humor in the series? Does it work as a whole? I think it does. There are multiple levels to this, right? You have just kind of the wacky whatever's going on and the gags. Like when the one gag that was in this episode, or was the last one, I guess, when Kane was describing his ideas and Gangle's mask just like cracked in half and fell off. It's like, there's a lot of sight gags and funny things going on.
They're deeper. Sometimes they're just surface, but sometimes they're deeper, right?
Right. Sometimes they might have some other significance. And like I said, episode 3, the interaction with Pomni and Kinger, I really liked just on its own. It's like, did that really lead somewhere? Yeah, I'm sure some elements are, but just in itself was, a meaningful interaction between characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, on it's hitting certain things on certain levels. that don't need the overall story to bring it together. And so I can't say, let's say they don't bring it for a good landing. It's not like those things go away. It's just that they didn't end up tying together effectively.
As well as you might have liked. But we don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we have
an hour, which is twice as long as the average episode, right? Or even more so.
So, I don't know. But I was watching these other guys and they were like, "Oh, this is just blah 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 blah." It's like this show is clearly not just stupid crap. You know what I'm saying? It's not just random garbage thrown together with no plan and
jokes.
No meaning. Yeah,
it's just a bunch of jokes that are just whatever.
It's not Family Guy.
Yeah, a bunch of random jokes, thrown on top of each other, and half of the funniness is the fact that they're random and they don't go together.
This was something that I realized in the 90s where it's like there was these, I don't remember what it was, maybe Friends or something, and it was like there's actually nothing funny being said here. It's just pacing. It's all just delivery. And it's like, because if you just watch it, it's like nothing you're saying is funny. It's just all delivery.
Have you ever watched The Big Bang Theory without the laugh track?
I haven't, but I've heard people refer to that, and it's like, it's just garbage. Right?
Watch some of the there's somewhere on YouTube where they've taken out the laugh track, and then it's just not quite as funny. You're just like,
It's I don't think it's funny with the laugh track, but it's one of the premier garbage shows around. But Extra asking what's favorite episode. I think 3 is my favorite.
Yeah, that's tough. 3 is kind of the one that everyone says, but to me, 3 is the one that sort of just starts. Episode 1 and 2 are fine; they're good, but episode 3 is where things start to take off, and every episode, from 3 onward just keeps going upwards. And I think these 2 are a perfect example. They ratchet up the writing and the character interaction another level from episode 3 and 4. It'd be hard for me to say which one. I have to think about that a little more. Yeah, maybe this one, because of the there's a lot of jokes. Well, also in episode 5 too. 5 and 6 both have a lot of these jokes, right? Like they're serious, but they're also more into the humor stuff. The evil team and all that stuff. There's some funny stuff there.
Right.
But yeah, all right. Okay. Any last minute things about the episode or episodes, Cam, before we sum up?
No.
All right. I think it's like I said, if anybody coming here, I think next week we're doing episode 6 and 7. Again, we are not we're old. We've seen a lot of media. We're not the target audience for the show, it seems, which seems to be like teenagers, 20-somethings, that generation, because we're Gen X types. And I don't know anything more than particularly anybody else, but we're coming at this from a different, view, because we're a lot older and a little wiser. I like to think. And we're trying to, look at it from our jaded eyes, I guess. But it's interesting. We're just muddling through it. And we only got onto this, not too long ago, right? Like I've only been into this for 6 months, a year, not even a year, a year maybe. So we weren't I wasn't involved in the very beginning. Fun fact, you could interview the series 90-minute long films, episodes 1 to 4 combined 89, 5 to 7 have 92. Interesting. 8, 9 will have another 95. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, were you going to say add to that, Cam, at all?
Nope. I think we're running long here, so we should probably wrap this up.
Okay, but I got to fit. All right. Well, I got to mention the 2 things that I didn't get at the beginning. Cam, push.
Okay, go.
I will. So I will mention. Cam isn't as much of a fan, but I'm a bit of a fan of Rick and Morty. I like the craziness. It's fun. Season 9 starts tonight. It is recording as I record this. Probably gonna go watch it and see what it's up to. But yeah, so I'll let that know to everybody. Season 9 of Rick and Morty. I'm very interested to see how this season goes because if any of you know, one of them was kicked. Was Justin Roiland had left the show 2-3 years ago, but they had there was some allegations of which I don't want to go into. Anyway, he was kicked off the show. He was basically found. Well, I'm not going to say he's found innocent, but the allegations couldn't be proven in a court anyway. But he's still off the show. Now the rumor was that season 7 and 8, which they finished, were all written already. So he had his hand in there. So I think, I'm not sure, but I think that season 9 will be without his input. So I'm curious if the quality of the show is still as high as it's been, or what's going to happen. Is it going to crash off? We're going to see. Could go the way of The Simpsons after a while. It gets, they lost key writers and it becomes a pile of garbage. Yeah, all right. So check that out if you're interested in that. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. I'm glad you had fun and glad you enjoy it. Good to see you. So B-Brox and man, maybe Extra History will be back. We got 2 fans of this show, not just B-Brox. We got Extra History too. So I think next week, anyway, I'll put it out and let you guys know. Yeah. And the last thing is, Cam, I've been keeping up on Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through season 3. What the heck is going on? Where's Brock? Brock quits.
Mm-hmm.
And Sergeant Hatred is hanging around, and he's a little bit weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Guess you'll find out.
I guess I'll find out. I think the last one I watched was, I think it was episode 7. Dr. Orpheus. They have to go to hell to save the guy, and we see what Dean would look like if he married Triana. And is there a different? Were there different animators? Because Hank looks a little bit drawn a little differently.
Might be.
Yeah. Anyway, that's where I am. I'm still watching. Still trying to find out what's going on. Still enjoying it. It's very similar. We can talk about that. We can maybe do a review of them at some point in the future. All right. Is there anything we want to mention coming up?
Wednesday. We've got
Wednesday. Yeah. Go ahead.
Babylon 5 season 4 premiere retrospective. At a new time, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Hour earlier than usual. It's up on the thing. If you got your notifications, you should be good to go. But generally an hour earlier, we're looking at, for those people who are new to the show, maybe we had Babylon 5 every Wednesday. Great television, peak 90s television. We're going through all 5 seasons. We're on the start of season 4 right now. And it's getting up there. Season 3 was quite, the big jump up, pushed up, ramped up the thrills and everything. The captain is dead on Zaha Doom, we think. We don't know. And these next sort of 6 episodes are going to, I think they're peak. Season 3, the end of season 3, and the first part of season 4 are peak Babylon 5. Cam, would you agree, perhaps?
Yes.
Yeah, you would agree. Okay. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the episode yet. I'm virgin. I'm watching along. I don't know what happens. Cam does. Cam's seen it. He saw it originally. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to mention? Next week we're doing this again, 7 and 8, I think. Yeah. Getting ready for the big 4th of June big reveal.
Mm-hmm. We're going to lock in 2 viewers, but lose all the others.
That's all right. Those 2 viewers we have are very vocal, and we like to interact with the chat, so that's good. Right on. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. That's it for the show. Oh, wait. I forgot the jokes. And of course, Jeff is here, and all he does is he just comes at the end for the jokes. All right. Okay, Cam, these jokes all revolve around identity, which is, I think, is probably, maybe a good thing for this show. Yeah.
I hope not.
Hope not. All right. Okay, last chat. I've heard that Gooseworks is an Evangelion fan, so the rumors that she may want to make the fellow quite an insane one. Oh, all right. Well, it'll be interesting. All right. Well, we'll be seeing it. Okay, here's a good. This is the first joke is a Catholic joke. How does the Pope refer to his secret superhero identity?
I don't know. How does the Pope refer to his secret superhero identity?
He calls it his alter ego. Oh, come on, that's not bad. What do you call a 9-sided shape that won't reveal its identity?
A nonagon.
Oh, damn! You got it. What is it called when 2 strains of a disease are identical?
I don't know. What do you call it when it's 2 strains of a disease are identical?
Plagiarism.
Hilarious.
How do you end a prayer to the noodle god?
I don't know. How do you end a prayer to?
You say ramen. Oh, you like that one?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, you like that one? All right. See, if Cam laughs at the jokes, I lose. Okay, so I saved the worst one for last. You were not gonna laugh. Amal and Juan are identical twins. Their mom only carries one baby photo in her wallet because if you've seen Juan, you've seen Amal. Slow clap. So you didn't like that one. All right. Okay, that's it for today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show and hope you enjoyed the horrible jokes at the end. We have a little thing on the show that we don't always do that, and with some really bad jokes that makes Cam want to shoot himself. But anyway, that's it for the show. We hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you next week. Or hey, if you like Babylon 5. Come join in and find out. Oh, and also I'm gonna be starting a new show called Pop-Up Snob, which will just pop up at any time. Which might be, hey, I feel like coming on and saying some stuff. So if you're interested in that, hopefully there'll be some interesting things. We haven't done one yet, but hey, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, and hit the notifications so you'll get notified when those shows come up. You might see it in the near future. Who knows? All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night. See you next time.
Good night, everybody.